Hey everyone, it's Miss Gross here. I'm going to give you a little bit of help on this IXL, finding missing angles in triangles. And in order to do this one, you need to know that all triangles add up to be 180 degrees. So if you look at this triangle, you know the two of the three angles, 119 and 34. And so you would subtract those from 180. So 180 minus 119 is 61. And then 61 minus 34 is 27. And so that angle right there is 27 degrees. And the next one, this is an isosceles triangle because you got two angles that are the same measure. And so we're still going to subtract from 180. And we're going to do 180 minus 25 minus 25, or 180 minus 50. And it'd be a 130 degree angle. All right. And I'm going to jump to the next level to see if the other questions are any harder. Okay, now you don't have a picture, but it has two angles, it's 11 and 149. What's the measure of the third angle? And it's the same thing. You're going to do 180. You're going to subtract 149, and then you're going to subtract 11. And you should get on that 20. And this one, same thing. Ooh, tiny ones there. 4 and 5 degrees. And so this is going to be a crazy big or crazy obtuse angle. So you're going to do 180, and you're going to subtract 4 and 5 degrees. So you're going to subtract 9 degrees. And so that obtuse angle would be 171 degrees. And let's see if I jump a level what it looks like here. Okay, yeah, this is one that I wanted to bring up. One angle of a right triangle measures 80 degrees. What is the measure of the other acute angle? And so you're like, well, there's only 1 degree here, but that's not true. It's a right triangle. So the other angle has to be a right angle, which would be 90. So you do 180, you subtract 90, which is the right angle, and then you would subtract 80, which is the other angle. And so the other acute angle would be 10 degrees because 180 minus 170 would be 10. And let's see this one. Okay, yeah, sometimes you have these choose all that apply ones. One angle of an isosceles triangle measures 70 degrees. Which other angles could be in that isosceles triangle? Choose all that apply. Okay, so if one's 70, the other one could be 70, because as long as it doesn't go over, it's less than 180 degrees, you're good to go. So you can have 70 and 70. Those could be your two. But you could also have, and remember it's isosceles, so two of the angles are going to be the same. And that's why we could have had a 70 and a 70. But think about that. So if you had 70 and 70, 70 plus 70 is 140. So if 70 and 70 is 140, the other angle could be 40. Okay. Now we have another option. Think about this. What if the two equal or congruent angles were the same and the 70 was not the other one? And what would you do here? So you would have to say 180 minus 70, and you would get 110. Now, those other two angles have to be the exact same size, and they have to add up to be 110 degrees. So the easiest way to take that 110 degrees and figure out what they are would be the exact same size is simply dividing by 2. And 110 divided by 2 would be 55 degrees. So 55 could also be another one. Now, you couldn't do 75, because if you did 75 plus 70 plus 70, that would be over 180. And you couldn't do 75 plus 75 plus 70, and again, that would be over 180. But you could do 55, 55, and 70, and you could do 70, 70, and 40. So these three could all match. Let's look at this one. A right triangle has one angle that measures 85 degrees. And again, it's a right triangle, so we know that one's 90 degrees. What is the measure of the other acute angle? So if we know that one's 90 degrees, then all we have left is 85 degrees and then what the other one is. So 180 minus the 90 would be 90, and then 90 minus 85 would be 5 degrees. The other angle is going to be a very small 5-degree angle. All right, and then let's do one more of these, check all that apply, because I think these are the hardest ones. One angle of an isosceles triangle, so remember two angles have to be the same, is 140. Which of the other angles could be that of an isosceles triangle? Now, on the last one we had, we chose the two the same, but if you do 140 here, 140 plus 140, that's over 180 degrees. So that cannot work there. It has to add up to be 180. So this one's going to have fewer there. The 140-degree angle is the angle that is not going to be like the others. The other two are going to be the same exact size. So we're going to do 180 minus 140, and that's 40. And remember, the other two have to be the exact same size, and they have to add up to be 40 degrees. So the only option here is 20. 20 and 20 make 40. You couldn't do 30 and 10 because then it wouldn't be isosceles. Remember, isosceles means two angles have to be the same size. So it would the only option here could be 20, 20, and 140. All right, I hope this video helps you. Let's look at this last one here just to make sure we can get it. An isosceles triangle has an angle that measures 120 degrees. This is the same as that last one. You couldn't do 120 and 120, and they don't even give that to you as an option. So on a problem like this, you would say, okay, the only other option I could have has to add up to be 60 degrees because 120 and 60 make 180, and then you're just going to take half of the 60 degrees and you get 30. So there's the only other option there. And I won't do any more problems. Let you go ahead and get started on your work and do well. You guys are amazing, and I hope you have a great day.